my diamond paintings because I'm keen to get reviews done out for them for you guys, and I can't do that unless I have worked on them. So I am. Now, I'll turn on my light pad. I have done, this one's got 17 colours. It's 25 by 25, so it should be 20 by 20. I will measure and we will check. Let's see. Let's see, yep, 20. Sorry about my arm in the way. By 19 and a half, close enough. But we'll see how it turns out. I'll turn this on and then I'll turn it down. So hopefully it's not too bright for you. Yeah, as I said, 17 colours. Hopefully you can see this well enough. So I have put a link in the description below of a YouTube channel that I have found that I have been watching lately. His name's Sean of Steel, and I have been interested in my 600-pound life because I like seeing people succeed when they struggle. Okay, I've turned that up a little bit more, I think. There we go. And it gives me a better understanding of what people will go through. And Sean of Steel, he has been through it. You really don't know what things are truly like until you've been through it, until you've experienced it yourself. Otherwise, we're only guessing. Now, my largest, I've been at 92 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds, but nothing compared to what a lot of people are going through. And even at my weight, it is difficult to lose it. So I can't imagine what it'd be like for people who are larger than me. It wouldn't be easy. And he has been through it. He was over 600 pounds, and he has lost a lot of it. And so he puts an interesting perspective on things. Things that I would never even have considered being an issue for people who were so large, such as thin skin and yeah, I don't know. Just never really occurred to me, not being able to get out of bed, not being able to move around and do things. It's quite a terrifying thought, actually. And then I got on to thinking about coping mechanisms. Now, a lot of them use food as a coping mechanism. And, well, if we could get the world out there diamond painting, instead of using food as a coping mechanism, they can use diamond painting instead. There was one episode where he did recently that I watched where a lovely young lady took up painting as a replacement for food. And that worked for her, and she did brilliantly. If you watch it, you'll probably find that episode. But, yeah, so if we could get the world out there diamond painting, that could be a alternative to addictions. I can't say anything at the moment because I'm probably addicted to caffeine at this point. I don't think any addiction is a good one, maybe. I don't know. But then again, you could probably call our crafting an addiction as well. But if we could get the world out there and use diamond painting as an alternative to eating, drugs, alcohol, smoking, instead of that would save I don't know how many lives. Whether that would work or not, I don't know. because the people on 600-pound life, they do seem to eat a lot and often. But I sometimes just couldn't be bothered getting up to eat because I want to keep working on what I am doing. I don't know if your experiences are the same. I don't know whether my thought process is a bit skewed. I don't know. I'm open to opinions. But the other thing is that the amount that they eat, especially the takeaway, how can they afford it? I'm on a pension here in Australia, and there is no way I could afford to buy and eat takeaway. I just don't do it. It's cheaper for me just to go and buy some sausages or some minced beef from the supermarket and cook that. I couldn't afford all the takeaway that they seem to buy and go through. Maybe takeaway is cheaper in other places, but it's not cheap here. As a cheap meal when I was younger, families used to buy fish and chips just for something cheap to feed the kids. But it's not cheap anymore. You're looking at quite a lot of money for a piece of fish. Okay, this is by addiction. Pepsi Max. Yeah. So I'd be addicted to caffeine at this point. I think we all have our vices. Things that we enjoy, things we go to when we're not feeling so good or when life is stressful. And admittedly, life is hard. As I tell my son, adulting in life is difficult. It's not easy. He has taken up smoking. His choice. He knows the consequences. I could say the same thing about people who overeat. And the size of me, people probably say I overeat, and they could be right. It might be a case of I don't move enough, which I don't, because I enjoy doing this. So maybe things are more of a double-edged sword. I asked my doctor once, because they say that sitting down too much is the new smoking. I do sit down too much. I do a lot of craft work. I don't move enough. I know that, and I admit that. But I do love what I do. Now, is that just as bad as overeating? Is it just as bad as smoking? Because I'm not moving enough. I'm not moving my body enough. Will there be long-term health consequences because of that? I don't know. It's possible. So I'm probably just as bad in a different way to what other people are. I know I'm not perfect, so I don't like to judge others, and I don't expect anybody to judge me. None of us are perfect as a species. Humans, we do not do perfect, and we never will, because if you do perfect, then what else is there to learn and to grow as a person and as a species? So, would diamond painting save people, would save the world? Could people who overeat get into diamond painting instead? Or would the lack of movement harm them anyway? Will the lack of movement end up harming me? Don't know. I don't smoke. I do drink a little bit of alcohol, but not very often, and I've never been drunk. I don't take drugs. So my main issue, if you don't include the caffeine, is that I don't move enough. I did when I was younger. I used to run a lot. I used to do cross-country running when I was younger. But I just don't now. I love doing this sort of thing, I really do. I'm really getting into the diamond painting at the moment, which is a good thing because I'm having difficulty staying away from Temu. I keep ordering diamond paintings from Temu, and I just love it. There's so many beautiful ones on there. 7 Great is a company that a cross-stitch company that's asked me to do a promo for them, so I have chosen the products and I'll just have to wait for them to come. So there will be some cross-stitching videos coming up when they come. I have ordered from them before. I have 2 email addresses, my regular personal one and my YouTube one. So when I purchase for myself, I use my own personal email address, and when companies send me products, there is the YouTube email address, so I can keep the 2 separate. But yeah, I've got that looking forward to and coming up. But I would appreciate your thoughts, because this is a, what's the word, sedentary hobby. Could it stop people drinking alcohol, overeating? Help people who are morbidly obese by using this as a hobby? Because to me it's a good distraction, but then somebody else might find it completely boring putting all these little tiny dots constantly on a canvas for hours and hours and hours. So really it's hard to say. But it is an awesomely amazing hobby. And you don't have to spend a lot on it. You can buy from companies like Diamond Art Club. I can't afford it. But there are companies like Temu and One Day Saving. There's a lot of companies out there who offer discounted products, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with them. I'm really, really happy with what I purchase. You do have to be careful with copyright issues. I know there are copies out there of Randall Spangler's images, which I recognise and I like to avoid. Yeah, there's Amy Stewart is another one I've seen. Before I knew all this, I did purchase off AliExpress a pattern of Amy Stewart's, but before I even knew about Amy Stewart and the fact that they breached copyright. So I'm not in a hurry to work on that, but then I've got plenty to do as it is. It's not so easy sometimes. I know there's sites and places you can go to look up images to see if they belong to somebody or not, but sometimes it's not as easy as what people make it sound. I mean, wouldn't it be awesome if we could just have, in cities and that, places where people can go and do some free crafting and have a chat. I know we have craft groups, but they're only open at certain times, and you have to pay so much sort of for your cup of tea and all this sort of thing. I don't know if you have to elsewhere, but you have to here. Pay so much a year to join and all this sort of thing. But to have somewhere where people could go just to have a free cuppa and a biscuit and maybe sit down and colour in and have a chat. Don't let, if their children are there, they need to be supervised, because you don't want other people looking after your kids. But just a nice social space where people can go in and have a chat and just relax and do some colouring or some diamond painting or something, and just try and de-stress. If they're in an abusive relationship, somewhere safe to go for a bit. But in a world where everything is focused on money and finances and all that sort of stuff, we know places can't afford that. So I'm going to be, I'm just going to play Wouldn't It Be Nice? Would there be less addiction? Would there be people with less health issues related to stress and all the rest of it if there was, oh, there's another one, if there was places like that to go? I don't know. I know we're not in an ideal world. I know there's no perfect system, because we don't do perfect. Doesn't matter which style of government you talk about, none of them are perfect. And whichever way you go, there's always somebody out there who's going to abuse the system and hurt other people, which is a shame. I always think to myself, if the cells in our organs need to work properly to function properly. The parts in our body need to work together properly for our bodies to work properly. And individuals in society need to work together for the society to function properly. And when it doesn't, when you've got selfish people out there who are just out for themselves, who don't want to help other people, yeah, things just don't work so good. That's when society crashes. Okay, let's cut off number 4. That's when society crashes and things end up in a chaotic mess. Because there's selfish people out there who just want to control other people, who just want to take whatever they can for themselves and stuff everybody else. Z. Okay, this number 4 is Z, which is nasty. So really, if you're thinking about cells that hurt people, let's say we could say that the nasty people in society could be like a virus. So you get a virus in your body, it makes you sick, not feel so good and feel like shit. So really, the nasty people in the world could be just like a virus and sort of send society to shit, basically. Excuse the language. Yeah, so I've been really enjoying watching this Shaun of Steel, and it makes a difference that he knows exactly what it's like. He knows, he's been there. I haven't. I do like his sense of humour. It can be a little bit crude at times, so if you don't like that sort of thing, don't go there. But I don't mind. I actually find him quite funny. And yeah, I do find it entertaining. Gives me another perspective on what people are going through and how they feel. It also helps me get my moods into perspective. It might seem strange, I don't know if other people do it, but if I watch other people and see that they're worse off than I am, in a way it makes me feel better, because I'm not doing so badly after all, that my situation isn't as bad as what I think I might be making it out to be. Stop myself from being a drama queen, basically. So I've also been watching some air crash investigations, true crime, because it does. I mean, it shows me that the situation I'm in is not as bad as what other people are going through. That shows me how lucky I am. I always wish the best for people, so when I watch his videos on my 600-pound life, I'm always sitting there hoping that they succeed. I watched one on hoarders that he did, and hoarding is also a mental health issue, because when you're so sad and you just desperately want to be happy, you'll hold on to anything and everything you can that you think might make you happy. So that I do understand. I may not, in a way, I may not be a hoarder, but maybe I could be, because I have got so much craft work. I mean, I've probably got 500-600 colouring books. That might make me a hoarder of colouring books. But as I don't hoard everything, then at this point I've got the space for it. And I do complete colouring books. And when I do complete them, they go in the bin. One day when I might actually complete one that I might want to keep, if I do a book completely in pencil or something like that, I might decide I want to just keep it so I can go back and look at it. But all the ones that I have completed so far, and the ones I will complete this year, at the end of the year, they will go in the garbage bin. So I'm not keeping them. I'm not a complete hoarder. And crafting keeps me sane. It keeps me alive. I'm not 600 pounds. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. And maybe that is solely because of my craft work. And when I am feeling really bad, I find the only craft work I can get into mainly is the diamond painting. Because it's not difficult. All I have to do is put down drills on a sticky canvas. I don't have to think about it too hard. I find the repetition relaxing. I love the repetition. And I come up with something pretty most of the time at the end. So I do find this super relaxing. And maybe if a lot more people got into the diamond painting and found it relaxing as well, then they may actually stop having the need to binge eat so much, maybe not drink so much. Though you can do this while you're drinking, but I don't know how you go doing this if you're drunk. I mean, I've never done it and I'm not going to try it. If you've done it, you can let me know how it worked out. No judgments. I don't judge. But even stress disorders, because stress can cause a lot of illness, and doing this is de-stressing, so that in itself could possibly avoid those health issues. So that's my logic, that's my reasoning. Sometimes my reasoning can be a bit warped. If so, just tell me. I'm quite happy to open to other people's opinions. Maybe there's something else that you enjoy more to de-stress, and you think that might save people's lives. Drawing, that tends to take, I believe, a certain amount of skill, whereas I don't feel like this takes any skill whatsoever. Colouring is a good one, because I don't think it takes any skill. I mean, yes, there are absolutely beautiful and amazing colourists out there, but ultimately, if you just put colour on a page, then that's enough. It doesn't have to be shaded or blended or anything like that. Just got to have fun doing it. So I thought I'd share that. I've just been watching the videos, and I've been diamond painting while I've been, well, more listening rather than watching, because I've got my head down. And that's where my thought processes have gone. I think if I could get into that television and I could introduce all these people to diamond painting, then maybe they might find it a little easier not to eat and to lose weight. Because they just lie or sit in bed all the time and they're not really doing anything. That's where hobbies are so awesome. Hobbies are just amazing. They really are. Everybody should have some sort of hobby. Something that they enjoy, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. But, yeah, hobbies are just so vital for what we do and for everyone. And for me, I have so many hobbies that I don't have time to do them all. There is so much I want to do, and that keeps me going. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming because I do have so much, but then I just focus on one thing that I am currently working on and zone out. And zoning out is fun. So that's my little chat. That's where my thought processes have been going. If you agree, if you disagree, if you think there's something else that could help people, put it in the comments below. I do my best to read and at least give a heart for the comments to let you know that I have seen it. If I take a little while to do that, I apologise, but I have recently started trying to make a point to be better at it and be quicker, keep track of it more, as well as doing more videos. Just so you, I don't know, if I can make somebody else feel better just by here and gas bagging for a bit, then that's a good thing. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't dragging on too long or it wasn't waffling too much. But I'm going to head off and I'm going to keep working on this. And I hope you're all well, you're all safe. Jen, I hope that your family is safe and that they're doing better. And make sure you do something you enjoy every day, because it does make everything so much better, so much more relaxing, and makes you look forward to doing things. So anyway, just if you do have an addiction, if you are upset, I'd like to quote Shaun of Steel, saying, if I get this wording right, if I'm not, then I apologise. Hard times disappear. What is it? But something about people. But tough times disappear, but tough people keep going. And I really, really like that. That is really good. What was the other one he says? The only hole you can't dig yourself out of is the grave. And I also like that one too. I really like the way he looks at things. So, yeah, but he can be a bit crude sometimes. So whether you enjoy that sort of thing or not, it's up to you if you want to take a look. Plus, I need the practice of putting in links. So hopefully the link worked. But I'm going to try and put in more links in my videos more often just for the practice. So take care. And yeah, make sure you do something you enjoy every day. Okay, bye.